Not every unfinished song is a failure. Some of them are just telling you to go write a better one. It's not always a bad thing. You just have to know when to decipher the opportunity cost and whether or not something is actually worth following through. Because if you don't genuinely believe in it by the time you get to finishing the actual record, or even finishing the instrumental or finishing the first verse, and you're like not even in the place where you can comprehend or genuinely believe it or pull it off, you owe it to yourself and the record, most importantly, the song, the music, to kind of take a step back. You know, you have to be able to discern and distinguish where your time is best served at that point. And it may not always be how you're feeling. It may not always fall in line with how you're feeling. You may have to override that after a while, once you're more familiar with the process. Because healing through music and showing up for yourself and building a business and staying consistent are very, very different things. Very different things. So after a while, you have to decide if something's actually worth your time, whether or not something's good enough, or whether or not you even like it enough to finish it. Because at the end of the day, if you don't like it, if you can't believe what you're saying on the microphone, it doesn't fucking matter what anybody else thinks about it. They can't hear what you hear in your head. And I think a lot of artists forget that sometimes. We can't hear the song that's in your head, bro. You have to get it out for us to be able to fucking hear it. Nobody gives a shit about the stuff that's on your hard drive. They want it easy. They want it easy. Think about the world we live in, man. Don't make it more complicated for people. Meet them where they're at, or you're not going to have anybody meet you at all. So it's like, man, back to that opportunity cost. Sometimes I'll scrap something, and not because it's just getting hard or getting difficult. It's because I know that no matter how much work I put into it, you can't polish a turd. Sometimes shit just doesn't have that energy. Sometimes you just gotta scrap a beat and move on to the next one, man. It's just, and you know in your gut. That's another skill that you sharpen with time, and that you learn, and your taste adjusts. And the process always stays the same, but your taste changes. You grow as a human being, and what you actually create and what you want to say adapts. You know, the shit. That's why it's so important to get it out when it's fresh, man, because you're gonna feel different in 3 years. You're gonna be a whole different fucking human being. I have probably some of my favorite songs, or some of your favorite songs of mine, you'll never hear because they exist in my fucking notepad, and they'll never see the light of day, because it's so past the point of me being able to actually fucking record it and believe what I'm saying, because I'm not in that point in my life anymore. I'm a much different human being, thank fucking God. I'd be concerned if I wasn't growing and changing as my environment has been changing. You know, I like changing. I like growing. It's one of the exciting parts about life. Yeah, man, it's like you got to get it out, because you're going to feel different. That emotion's going to change. It's going to evolve and turn into something different. If you push it down and you don't address it, it evolves into something messier, right? And it just gets buried with more shit. And then it's just like, before you know it, some random situation that has nothing to do with it could be a trigger and set you off. And it's just like, I don't even know why I'm upset right now. It all comes back to the music. It all comes back to the music, man. Having that channel, you have to have somewhere to put it. And you owe it to yourself to finish the fucking job when it's necessary, you know? You also owe it to yourself to know when to cut off some shitty dead weight, because it's going to waste your time, and the idea and gem that you could have found in the time that you spend working on the piece of shit beat, you could have found the best thing that you've ever made in your entire life, or the best lyric. You know, you just have to keep combing through it, keep throwing shit at the wall. You just keep fucking trying, man. Nobody can tell you what your music is supposed to sound like. Nobody can tell you or discern between what to finish and what not to finish. Your gut tells you. And you know, deep in your soul, what's most important. The only wrong thing to do is not to do anything at all. This doesn't mean go sit on your ass and fucking, oh yeah, Lundy told me I didn't have to finish my song because I'm not in the mood for it, so I'm gonna go play Xbox. It's like, nah, bro. When I say I'm not finishing a beat, it's because it's fucking mid and I'm gonna make the next one 10 times better. It doesn't mean I'm stopping the work. It means I'm doing end, not or. It's end. Yes, let's do everything. Don't get it twisted, man. There's no shortcut for the work. The more time you spend fucking off and fucking around and wasting time on shit that doesn't matter, whether inside of the process or outside, the only one that's getting hurt is you. Or whenever I do that, the only one that's getting hurt is me. So over time, I've had to be more strict with the energy or people or sounds that I'm allowing into my life. Because it all pulls away little tiny pieces. And it's like, my energy and my time can only go so far, you know? So it's like, where do I feel best that it's spent at the end of the day? Where do I know that it's most valuable if I reinforce it and focus on that aspect of my business? It comes back to that opportunity cost. Knowing when to cut out a piece of shit turd that's just holding you back, because you're never going to get to the idea that's going to change your life. Love you.